Today's video is sponsored by the new Paperlike 2.0, which makes writing or drawing with any Apple Pencil on any iPad feel more like paper. Hey, it's Chris. So I recently sent my brand new 16-inch MacBook Pro back to Apple to get a replacement. And while I've been waiting, I've been spending more time with my 11-inch iPad Pro again. And I gotta say, I've really been enjoying and making the most out of all my iPad Pro accessories. For one thing, I have beyond loved using my Keychron K2 mechanical keyboard with the iPad Pro. It's created just an amazing typing experience. In fact, I love it so much, it almost makes me miss blogging. And that Keychron keyboard pairs perfectly with my Satechi R1 Hinge stand, which is adjustable and looks great, and it probably reminds subscribers of this iPad setup video from a little while back. So take the iPad Pro, add those two items, throw in a mouse, and you've got a really interesting setup happening. Now, I've also enjoyed using my adjustable iPad floor stand, which I picked up years and years ago while I'm in the studio. And yeah, it's fun to pair my Xbox controller to the Pro for some gaming as well. And even without it, just gaming on the iPad Pro in general can be so much fun. I will absolutely crush you at Badland Brawl. I'm just saying. You know what's funny though? I recently Googled best iPad Pro accessories 2020, and all the articles that came up listed the most boring and mundane and obvious accessories that could possibly exist, like the Apple Pencil or the official Apple keyboard case. Wow, thanks for the recommendations. So in this video, I did some research. I want to share with you some of my finds and let you guys help me pick, like, what should I buy and what are you gonna get? It's gonna be pretty exciting. I found some good stuff. The first cool, unique, really different thing that I found is called Sketchboard Pro, and I think that they just announced this at CES. I could be wrong, but it's new. And what it is a completely flat workspace for iPad artists. And if you've ever drawn something on the iPad, then you know you don't have anything to rest your wrist or your arm on really, and that can kind of make a difference. If you're just drawing on a piece of paper, then you have a whole table or something to support you. But on the iPad, maybe you don't. And even if you do, if you lay it on a desk, it's not completely flat. So this really does solve an interesting issue. What I really like about this is that it works anywhere. So it has some legs that pop out in the back, and if you just wanna sketch at your desk, you can do that. If you just wanna hold it in your lap or something, you can do that too. And it's got a handle also, so it's transportable, and it's got a little cutout for the iPad, for your Apple Pencil, and then up in the corner, a little notch where you can reach in and grab it and pop it out. Also, I have to point out their frequently asked questions section. The number one question is, number one, how dare you? These guys have a sense of humor. That's just reason enough to go support them right now. I think this is on Indiegogo. I'll link it up down below so you can go check it out, make your reservation if it interests you. The next thing that I'm thinking about checking out is the Brydge Pro Plus keyboard. Now you guys probably have heard at this point of the Brydge keyboard for the iPad. It's a nice keyboard that attaches to your iPad, gives it a more Mac-like feeling just because of the look and the keys and whatever. It has a lot of really great stuff about it. You can go back and check out my review of it if you want to. But the Plus model does something really interesting. It builds in a mouse trackpad into the keyboard. And so it pushes the concept of an iPad even closer to the laptop experience. And of course, this is all possible because the latest version of iPadOS gave us mouse support. Yes, it's only an accessibility feature at the moment, but still, it's there. Now, this is only available for pre-order, and I did reach out and request a review device. So as soon as I get my hands on it, I'm on the list, I'll be doing a review, so make sure you're subscribed. Now, I've already mentioned Satechi once in this video, but I'm gonna have to mention them again because they make some really cool stuff, and no, they have never been a sponsor on this channel. The thing that I wanna tell you about is a USB-C magnetic charging port or adapter or dock for your Apple Watch, which means, get this, you can plug this adapter into the USB-C on your iPad Pro and charge your Apple Watch right there. Now, this is gonna be amazing whether your iPad is laying flat, or I think even cooler, if your iPad is propped up and you can type and you've got a kickstand there so you can actually see your watch while it's charging. That's pretty cool. And you never know with these third-party chargers. are they going to charge your device fast? Well, this is built to charge your Apple Watch at full speed. Now, really, what is this for? What is for is for taking it with you on the go. It's portable. You have so many chargers laying around the house or the office or whatever, but this one packs up and fits in your bag, fits in your suitcase, your backpack, just goes with you wherever and doesn't take up a lot of space. That's great. So basically, it's amazing for travel. And you know what? Here's what's really mind-blowing. If you have the right setup, you can plug this in your car and charge your Apple Watch while you're driving. Who would have even thought of that? The next thing that I want to show you guys is the brand new RavPower Mini 1 terabyte SSD. And when I say mini, and when they say mini, they mean mini. And so do I. It's very small. So this actually comes in a 512 gig configuration or a 1 terabyte configuration. So it starts at $90. Now, what I like about this, aside from its size, because the size is amazing, goes with you wherever, also great for travel, but I like the fast read-write speeds, because what I would maybe use this for is for some video editing on the go. So this pairing up with the iPad Pro and giving me some extra space, because Apple storage is really expensive. We all know that. It's always cheaper, almost always, probably always, to buy third-party storage and use it with your Apple device. So to be able to expand to 1 terabyte extra for much cheaper is great. And the other thing too is it's not just for your iPad. Works with iPad, that's important in relation to this video and just in general, but it's gonna work with any USB-C phone, so not your iPhone yet, but if you have a different phone, and also Windows and Mac. So it's just compatible with basically everything. Now, the next thing I want to show you is something that's pretty cool. I've featured a few iPad Pro hubs before on the channel, but this one is actually invisible. The reason they call it invisible is because it lives behind your iPad. So it connects, but it lives up on the top right corner there. So you're not really seeing the bulk of it. Most of it is hidden when you're just using your device from the front side. If I haven't already mentioned, the name of this thing is the BoltHub Pro. I don't think I said that yet. So any hub's only gonna be as good as its ports. This one has 2 USB 3 ports, a 4K HDMI port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, some people are gonna appreciate that, and a USB-C Power Flow Max port. And have you ever wanted a micro SD port for your iPad Pro? Of course you have, and now you can have it. And if you're wondering, it does work with Apple's official Keyboard Folio keyboard case. Good to know. Now, I mentioned earlier, and I kind of mocked and scoffed that all these different articles featuring iPad Pro accessories were mentioning things as obvious as an Apple Pencil. Well, I'm gonna mention an Apple Pencil alternative that's interesting because it looks like the Apple Pencil, it really does, and also it's a lot cheaper. I mean a lot cheaper. How about $40 compared to what Apple's charging? It looks like it is magnetic, so it can store on your iPad Pro, the latest version, but is it gonna wirelessly charge that way? No, not at all. Now, disclaimer, I just thought this was an interesting thing to cover because I know some people want this budget option and would be happy to try it out. But personally, would I recommend this over the Apple Pencil even though I haven't used it? No, there's no way. I would much rather have the official Apple Pencil for the iPad Pro. But I feel like the price is so compelling and it doesn't look weird because it copied Apple's design, then maybe I should just mention it. With this cheaper Apple Pencil alternative, I'll call it nicely, you still get palm rejection, supposedly, and also it's got a carbon fiber tip, so should be safe for your screen. So you can also charge this thing up fully in 2 hours and then use it for 5 hours continuously, and then it has an auto off or auto sleep mode, and it'll just go to sleep if you haven't been using it for 20 minutes. The last thing is something that's pretty cool. I saved this for last to reward everybody that stuck around until the end. Do you remember when modular phones were gonna be all the rage? And it seemed cool, but no one could ever really get it to work well. But somewhere where it would make a lot of sense, I think, is this exact situation, where you have, everybody has a bunch of different devices, and my device lineup and setup is gonna be different than yours, so it doesn't really make sense to sell just one size fits all charging solutions. Instead, you can come in here and say, well, I've got an Apple Watch, and I've got an iPhone, or 2 iPhones, or an iPad, or 2 iPads, or 2 Apple Watches, and I wanna plug one thing into the outlet, but charge all of that stuff. And it doesn't have to be just Apple stuff. You want to charge your Nintendo Switch? You can add that in here to the mix as well. If you own an iPad or you're looking to get one soon, then check out today's sponsor, Paperlike, now in the second version, which is an accessory that makes it feel and sound more like you're using real paper when you're working with an Apple Pencil. One of my favorite things about the new Paperlike is that it's much clearer to watch movies or view content through it when you're not writing or drawing. Paperlike actually gives you more control with your Apple Pencil thanks to that paper-like resistance that it offers. And yes, it really makes a difference. Plus, it reduces glare and fingerprints, which who doesn't want that? Paperlike's great for anyone who wants to use apps like Apple Notes or Notability or Procreate or Affinity Photo, among many others. When you place an order, you're gonna get 2 Paperlike covers plus application accessories, along with free worldwide shipping and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can place a Paperlike 2.0 order using the link down in the description. So that's it for this video. What do you guys think? You have to leave me some comments and let me know what's worth buying, what are you gonna get, and maybe I'll review some of this stuff, like actually review it, get my hands on it. That would be cool. If you're new around here, make sure to check out my last iPad Pro accessories video. It was one of the more popular videos, I think, on the channel last year. And also, make sure that you check out our podcast, the Dailytekk After Party. I promise this week I'm gonna be recording a new episode, and I'm excited to do that. Also, I'm at Dailytekk, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure to connect with us there. Really trying to hit the Instagram account, especially this year. Post some really thoughtful, good content there, so make sure to check it out. New post up today, actually, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.